What is up, my family? What is good? What is good in the chat? Everybody, please throw in some A's in the chat. If you can hear your boys speak, please go ahead and throw those A's in the chat right now. What is up, my family? Good to see everybody here tonight. Very excited to be streaming yet again. You guys know how it goes. Please go ahead and throw those A's in the chat. If you can hear your boys speak, go ahead and do that right now. Mr. Levitz, good evening to you. What is up? What is up, everybody? Speak to me. Speak to me. Mark Roach, what is up, my dude? Good to see you here. Indra H, good morning to you. Daniel Gonzalez, little AR-15, what's up? Paul, how you doing, man? How you doing? Very, very cool to see everybody here. What's up, moderators? Mark Roach, how you doing, man? I saw that you put up some DD on that ticker symbol TRKA. Very cool stuff. What's up, friends? Friends, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Al, how you doing? How you doing? So, guys, remember, if you are not exactly sure what the schedule is looking like already, please go ahead and just focus in on focus your attention right up here, okay? Actually, I do have to make a quick little adjustment right here, as that actually belongs right there, right? So yes, this is the schedule right up here, you guys. So that is what you're looking at, right? So everything is already figured into this, right? So we need to be able to cover as many tickers as we can. As you guys already know, I owe a few of them from the last few days. But it's all good, man. We are here, and we are about to look at a few things that are of incredible importance, okay, you guys? I know lots of movement in the markets. Yesterday, we actually made a pretty good play out of SINT and I forgot the other ticker, right? But it went very well. I know a lot of people actually got that gain. So congratulations to you if you actually took those trades. Yeah, very much like it. So what's up, team? Please go ahead and let me know in the chat what you guys are long, what you guys are short. What's the big deal, man? What are you guys talking about? What are you guys seeing? All right, so yeah. So we have, please go ahead and notice right up here, this is going to be your schedule here, okay? So we're going to do a combination of the NDX and the SPY like we did yesterday. We're going to be looking at CRTD. By the way, Michael Payne, thank you so much for your donation, my friend. That really means so much, okay? So yes, we're going to be looking at CRTD right up here. We have TRKA, VIRI, we have EPAZ, LHDXQ, RETA, DLYT, TENX. We have MAXN, Zella, and UNCY. Guys, lots of tickers to look at. We will get to this as soon as humanly possible, okay? So, actually, you know what? We can go ahead and combine Mark Roach, moderator Mark Roach. It's actually a good thing for us to combine one of the mega caps alongside the SPY and the NDX, okay? So, let's make sure that we can look at TSLA alongside the broader markets, okay? Because you guys know already, man, these mega caps have the influence to be able to move the overall markets, right? So yeah, we'll go ahead and add this into the schedule, or actually right into the broader markets firsthand, right? Yesterday we actually ended up adding what? It was BTC that we added yesterday into it. So today will be Tesla, okay? So, and of course it is because it's a mega cap, right? So we're going to add a few of our tools right over here so that we can have ready for when we start analyzing these tickers, right? So this is usually what I do, guys, when I'm preparing things, right? I tend to have up my volatility, my momentum. I have a second opinion of momentum as well, represented by an RSI, and I also tend to include the moving averages as well. So actually, I'm very curious to see. Nice, okay. Yeah, with a lot of things to talk about here. So I'll go ahead and add my SMAs as well. If you guys are curious to see what SMAs I'm actually using, you hear my little guy over there? They're chasing him around. All right, so yeah, if you're curious as to what SMAs I'm actually using, I'm using the SMA period 10. I'm using the 50, the 100, and the 200, okay? Now, as far as the exponential moving averages, I have I have a set, which is the 30 period and the 7 period exponential moving averages, which are more along the lines of my surgical ones, right? So these two ones are very, they follow the price action pretty closely, right? So they're important to me. All good. So AC, is TRKA done? I'm not too sure, but I remember I put up a video today regarding my thoughts with TRKA, and honestly, I don't think so, actually. So there's a lot of talks There's a lot of confusion regarding the fundamentals within TRKA, right? But it's all good. Keith, what is up, my dude? Good to see you in the chat. What's up, Paban? How you doing? Sebastian Lim, good to see you here, my dude. I'm not exactly sure to call you Sebastian or Eugene, or what's the deal there, my dude? Yes, you guys, please make sure to hit the like button on your way in. We're just going to allow the chat to kind of fill up just a little bit before we get started, right? So, what's up, Moderator Hound? Good to see you here in the chat. We're definitely going to be taking a look at a few tickers, right? So, I think you were talking about one of these tickers in the early ticker picks, or the ticker picker in Discord, the EPAZ, right? Was that you? This one right over here. The float TRKA TENX. My goodness, man. Yeah. So we'll look at that ticker as well, you guys. So you know what? While we wait for the ticker, for the chat to kind of fill up, let's just go ahead. KYP, good to see you in the chat. What's up? So yeah, while we wait for the chat to kind of fill up, let's just go ahead and start off with the broader markets, right? I'll go ahead and make sure that we have a good volume in the tunes in the background, right? So that we don't get distracted too much. Okay, so let's look at the NDX on the daily here. Definitely something to notice here. Okay, you guys, we noticed the last time before we made that upside, we caught a bullish engulfing candle structure here, right? Especially on the daily. You guys already know that I don't like to really look at candle analysis in the shorter time frames. I usually like to watch it minimum 8 hour, the daily absolute minimum, right? So, or preferably the daily, but from here on and up, it actually works pretty well. All right, so what we're looking at here was a bullish engulfing. We got the upside move. We got a shooting star right up here. We got a downside move. Now, please notice the candle formation that is currently being presented at this moment. Okay, so go ahead and take a look at this. This is a bearish engulfing candle formation. Okay, so yes, candle analysis is a little silly, whatever, but we have to validate our downside and upside thesis based on every metric that we can, right? Let's combine as much as we can. So this is a bearish engulfing. You have the red body engulfing the entire previous candle, which is green. And this signals a potential continuation to the way down. We are on the daily chart, and this daily read is already done. The support that you're finding right now is at the 50-day exponential moving average, which, by the way, if we just zoom out like this, if you remember correctly, we already have the silver cross right over here. This is the cross of the 20 exponential versus the 50 exponential, which is historically known as being a trend reversal. A macro trend reversal. So meaning that when we are in the upside of the 50-day exponential moving average, then the likelihood of continuing on to a bull market cycle is likely. But please remember, it is the daily, and we do get variances within this. For example, here, silver cross lasted for just a little bit, then we actually crossed to the downside, right? So in this case, we've been riding it for a pretty good amount of time so far. We're still not crossed. We still haven't crossed below it. But please notice that we're getting very close to it yet again, okay? So similar situation happening with a SPY, okay? We actually, in this case, we're actually coming back down to validate the macro scale broadening descending wedge, of which is very similar to Tesla, okay? So Tesla also has that same structure as the SPY, okay? So the way we can tell is by clicking on this plus button right up here, and then we type in SPY, but I already have it here, right? So let's go ahead and put it on a new price scale and bring it right up like this. So the SPY is represented by that yellow trend line, and you can actually see just how correlated the broader markets are to that mega cap, right? So this is just a good example for us to be able to see just how much the broader markets play in sympathy to each other with alongside like Tesla and stuff, right? So let's just go ahead and block the visibility of this and just take a look at the SPY once again. Okay, so the SPY is at a very critical support right now. We are trying to validate that newly converted resistance into a support before a continuation, okay? So that doesn't mean that we can't fail it and then reclaim the inside again. It's entirely okay if that happens, okay? I'm just trying to tell you that it's normal for us to come back down several times and validate this before a continuation up. I want to look at the 5-day to see what we're doing, okay? So we just got the new print for the 5-day iteration, okay? So, I mean, the danger is kind of sitting here. If we are closing... I mean, 5 days and 15 hours is kind of forever from now. But if we do close that 5-day iteration below the level of about 392.68, then we would have printed a bearish engulfing on the 5-day. And that, my friend, on a 5-day has a lot of weight to it. Okay, so we had to be very careful with what's happening with the SPY 2. Downside continuation on the 5-day. Let's see the 30-minute. Let's see. We're going to combine this as well with Tesla. So consolidation. Please remember, guys, by the way, please remember tomorrow's jobs report. Okay, so tomorrow we're not going to be rating the trades today. Okay, so we need to make sure to, if you are not seasoned in trading, stay away from the markets. Okay, I'm just telling you as a friend, as an entertainer, to probably entertain not trading tomorrow. Okay, you guys, because tomorrow's jobs report, I'm not sure what they're going to say. I'm not sure if what we're looking for is for the jobs report to be low, okay? We don't want, according to the Fed, we don't want people getting jobs right now. So if we are not getting jobs, then the markets will likely rally, okay? It's very inverse right now. Okay, you guys, so please know that jobs report is going to be coming out tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, okay? So keep an eye on that. Consolidation on the 30-minute. We have, let's see, consolidation on the bi-hourly. This is why I was reminded of it, right? Because of all the consolidation periods that we're looking at. 6-hour also a little slightly bearish with consolidation as well. 12-hour consolidation, very likely going to be looking at this in a lot of metrics, okay? Tesla daily suggesting some downside right here. Momentum versus volatility. We're in the expansion phase right now of volatility with a downside contracting, okay? So when we are contracting, or when we are on a downside, there could be a potential low to be found soon, okay? But please remember, soon is very relevant. I mean, I'm talking about, let's see, 12.79% where we're sitting on Tesla momentum, 2.75 being the historic low, okay, which was actually just faced recently. So now if we're looking at the space where we are now, there have been a significant amount of reversals from this point, but this is a nosedive, okay? So this is still suggesting downside. So let's just go ahead and see what we got. First of all, notice that the earnings report should be coming out on, let's see, April 24th. And Tesla has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 consecutive earnings beats with 1 in between, okay? So, and before that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive before 3, okay? So Tesla's doing good. Tesla's doing good. This is very likely gonna rally on a good earnings report, but please do not play earnings plays, okay? Earnings plays are essentially a gamble now. Because now, it's not like the good old days where you get a good earnings report and the thing rallies to the upside. Not like that anymore, okay, you guys? So, let's see, Mr. Levis, tomorrow pre-market employment report. Yeah, how many jobs added or lost? Exactly, man. So if we added more jobs, no good. All right, guys? So if we have less jobs, very good, apparently. All right, so yeah, that's correct. Dennis B, thank you so much. Projected would be 240,000 jobs versus the expected 205. Man, if we get anything above 205,000, you guys, we are definitely going to suggest a downside. Whoa. So yeah, be very careful with that, guys. Okay, so Tesla, immediate short-term time frame, 30-minute. Okay, so let's just see here. We still have some bearish action happening on the bi-hourly and the hourly. Okay, we already oversold. Okay, so that's there could be a bottom, okay, but that doesn't mean anything, really. I mean, the reason why I'm saying this, guys, is because if we're looking at an RSI, we're looking at sentiment here, okay? So if we feel like we need a reverse from 15.46%, I mean, we're gonna do it only because we feel like it. But technically, these are delayed indicators, and they're absolutely averaged, okay? So we can definitely oversell forever. Okay, and overbuy forever. Do not rely on just one strategy for you to gain that bias for direction or that long or short bias in entry. Okay, you guys, so let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here. Downside pivot still on that 4-hour. Let's look at the 8-hour. 8-hour nosediving, even still validating that downside that we're looking at on the daily, huh? So then we have that 12-hour with a downside pivot as well. Okay, yeah, you guys, this is Tesla is very much on the way to where I can see this gap over here. Please notice that this gap is absolutely a psychological component to keep an eye on, okay? Very likely Tesla is headed down to this level here. Top side of about 155.17 and bottom side to be about 146.31. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take a buy daily fib inversely from the swing high to the swing low. And please go ahead and notice that the top side of the support is located right at the 3.618 golden mean. Okay, lots of confluence there. So now let's take a look at our EMAs to see on nothing there, and the SMAs, let's see, also nothing there. So it's probably gonna have to rely on previous areas of support. So the value area low would be what we're looking for historically. So historically speaking, we are looking at the support of that gap at the, let's see, at the resistance levels of October 14th, 2020. Very likely we find a bounce from this zone here, okay? So let's see, another thing that we can look at. I think, no, I think that's definitely about it right there. So yeah, we can actually expect a pretty nice bounce from that area upon finding that bounce here. There could be some consolidation here, even the potential wick to try to fill that 146 spot 81% bottom, right? So I'm sorry, dollar bottom. So if we do that, in that event, we would then have flashed a lot of the momentum versus volatility. And I mean, for example, this right here, we're coming out of a critical contraction, expanding while having this oversold momentum. So this is looking not bad, but we want several time frames set up with that same thing. Okay, we want volatility either to be extremely contracted or extremely expanded. Okay, contraction at the bottom level below 15 percentile, and then above 90% or within the 90 percentile would be critical expansion. Okay, so right now Tesla would be an open game for short positions. Okay, be very careful with your longs. We can expect if you are long Tesla right now and you are wondering if there could be any saving grace, you would actually have to figure out let's see, for example here, SMA 200 on the 4-hour chart, $165.31. Let's look at the 8-hour 100. 164.86, very similar. Okay, so yes, we're looking for a bounce from the SMA 200 4-hour or the SMA 100 8-hour. Okay, so in this area, very likely we can actually come back and test a space of about 172.77 before a continuation to the way down. Okay, so this is just going to be laddering on the way down. Okay, so this is still capitulating. Okay, you guys, please make sure to keep an eye on the broader markets, because Tesla will likely influence the continuation to the downside on the SPY and the NDX. Okay, you guys, so that's going to do it for the broader markets. And yeah, so what's up, chat? Good to see everybody here. Very excited to be streaming tonight, you guys. We've had lots of great opportunities. We've had lots of great wins, lots of huge losses as well. But that's why we make sure that we have our stop losses and our risk management in control. Okay, moderator Hound, moderator Samantha H, good to see you here. Mark Roach, thank you so much for your help. Really appreciate everybody stopping by tonight. All right, you guys, really love it so much. I love that we can actually prepare these things before the next day so that we know and can expect some new stuff, right? So now in regards to the ARC Masters course, guys, I'm gonna go ahead. I've already started sending out some of the welcome packages. So if you are a master student here in the chat right now, please go ahead and email me your TradingView username, as I do have a couple of little goodies there for the ARC Master students. Okay, you guys, so please go ahead and do that as soon as you can, or as soon as you receive my email, I'll go ahead and actually ask you for it there as well. Okay, you guys, so yeah, let's just go ahead and end the analysis here for the NDX, the SPY, and Tesla. Very good combination. I love it. Okay, you guys, so if we do have the opportunity to combine a mega cap or a mega cap or even BTC, we can also expand it to Ethereum. You know, we can get ETH in there as well for the broader market, for the first thing that we look at here in the chat, right? So we want to just make sure that we can keep this in line, that we look at the broader markets overall to understand what the weaknesses are. But please remember, jobs report tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, and that is something that's going to highly likely affect the price action in the broader markets. Okay, so I mean, it could be in huge preparation for a fall, right? But I'm not sure. We don't want to guess any of that stuff, guys. We'll just go ahead and see what the information does, and then we'll react to that. Okay, so the next ticker that we're going to be looking at tonight, you guys, is actually going to be ticker symbol CRTD, as it does have a lot a lot of attention right now, okay, you guys? So I want to touch bases on this because there are a few signals that I would like for us to keep into consideration, okay? So I thought I already had this set up. My apologies. Let me just go ahead and add the couple indicators that I usually have up so that we can understand where this is headed to, okay? I'm talking about, in particular, the 3-day volatility versus momentum profile has an absolute setup for CRTD, and in fact, it's still honoring it. And the reason why I'm saying this, I'm sorry, that this is just me on zombie autopilot, right? So let me just go ahead and add that RSI right down there and continue on here, okay? So please remember that we are at that demand zone that we've been looking at for weeks and weeks now, okay? You guys, please remember that I was looking at this like since we were over here, okay? I think actually right over here. Oh no, actually I think we were here when I first started watching CRTD. This might have been, I don't know, somewhere, right? But still, we had this drawn in for a very long time. We're within that, we're within a critical demand zone, but please remember something, okay? This is critically important to know. Okay, you guys, only because we are at a demand zone does not mean that we can't touch other demand zones either, but it's not suggesting it, okay? I'm just telling you very clearly that there is another demand zone below us, okay? So this would be the second lowest demand zone, and of course, it would be the space between about 497 and about 446, okay? But no, nothing is actually suggesting for us to capitulate down to those levels. Just like I said over here, we weren't ready for that just yet. But now that we got that huge Adam and Eve formation here, we got that capitulation and now we're recovering, okay? So please notice how much we're staying within this demand zone is because it really is a substantial demand zone. Okay, you guys, so in reference to the 3-day volatility versus momentum, like I said, go ahead and notice right over here. This is that oval that we always talk about, okay? Right in here. We want to be in critical. Let me just make this larger here and put in the 90 percentile because that is usually where critical volatility starts to represent critical expansion, right? So within the 90 percentile, right in here, notice that right now, this is why I'm saying this is early, okay? So we're looking at critical contraction and of the volatility component of the BBWP indicator, okay? We're now entering that critical volatility. The moving average is still suggesting the entrance of that critical volatility as well. When you pair this with stochastic momentum or a momentum-based indicator and you have this upside pivot, guys, magic happens, okay? So things right now for CRTD, yes, they look a little bearish, but in a few days, this will likely play out and it will likely make a very powerful move to the upside, which makes me feel that there could be something in line, fundamentally speaking, okay? So, I mean, company specific. I'm not exactly sure if that's something that's actually going to happen, but, or whatever. I'm not sure what's happening with the company. I generally don't care. I usually follow statistics and mathematical models, okay? I don't ever really care about what they're talking about within the company specifics, okay? But volatility and momentum, the physics of this ticker are suggesting a potential massive upside coming in. If you're a little curious, please notice the buy daily as well. The buy daily has now entered both the moving average and the volatility component into critical volatility alongside a slight upside pivot. Okay, this is getting dangerously close to making a very powerful move to the upside. Okay, you guys, so let's see. We have corrections all over the immediate short-term time frame. So this is why I'm telling you, in a few days, this thing could actually pop off without no one knowing that it actually did. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is a group of systematic traders potentially trading the data and not trading the fundamentals here, you guys. Okay, so a lot of, somebody said in one of my comments that I didn't even reply to it because it was just so amateur, right? This guy said, no news, no movement. That is not true, you guys. Okay, if you are here and you believe that, please just go ahead and know that there is a different bias for that, okay? If there is no news, you hear it all the time. And like Cramer talks about it all the time. Jim Cramer, he'll be like, this stock just rallied to the upside on literally no news. Well, it doesn't have to have news to move to the upside. It has to have the right setup for an upside move. Okay, so I'm talking about systematic traders, traders who do just volatility runs or data runs, right? When the data is right, when the setup is made right, then the movement can happen regardless of what the company's saying. Okay, you guys, this is absolutely critical for you to understand as a different type of trader. Okay, because we're all used to understanding the fundamental metrics move the stock. Yeah, of course it does. No shit, right? We have to keep an eye on those things as well. Okay, you guys, but yeah, absolutely. Sebastian Lim saying some counters can move even with news. Yeah. So just know, you guys, that a lot of traders, professional usually and institutional, are looking for setups like this in order for it to make a run to the upside. Okay, you guys, so it doesn't actually have to have news. It has to have the right setup for really seasoned traders to make that move. Okay, so now for the immediate short-term time frame, let's refer to the RSI. Okay, so we have some, let's see. Consolidation on the 30-minute, bi-hourly consolidation as well. 6-hour has, I mean, this is ever so slightly bearish, right? So we're crossing below the 14-day simple moving average, suggesting a little bit of a reaccumulation period. Okay, let's look at the 8-hour. Okay, so the 8-hour is already pivoted to the upside, and so is the 12-hour, and the daily looks corrective here. Why am I saying that the daily is corrective? Okay, so the futures are looking bad right now. Well, I mean, it's likely pricing it. It's likely pricing in the jobs report, man. So who knows? Who knows? But yeah, right now, NDX capitulated today, the SPY capitulated today, Tesla capitulated today. So as long as the broader markets and futures are suggesting red, yeah, very likely we'll continue finding red. I see another 14% drop for Tesla coming in, and that's I mean, trillions of dollars there, man. So absolutely believe it. Yeah. It doesn't matter. So technicals. Oh, guys, that's another thing. Okay. That's another thing. Technicals, in all reality, yes, I say it all the time, but I'm going to let you know right now, man, that it's just technicals are a bunch of bullshit. Okay, guys, I don't like technicals in general. The only reason I'll follow it is because the sentiment. If the sentiment believes enough on the technicals, then I'll go ahead and look into that, okay? But the way I usually follow things are based on mathematical backs. Okay, you guys, statistical back tests. If we have the statistics in line, then we have some understanding here. Okay, you guys. Mr. Levitt saying fundamentals. Well, I mean, maybe tomorrow could be. I mean, tomorrow is a definite fundamental run, man. It's going to be the jobs report. So that's economic data. All right, you guys, so we still have a little bit of reaccumulation here for CRTD on the daily, and the buy daily, let's see, still suggesting that downside. What this downside is telling me from the larger term timeframes is that they are pensive on waiting for the shorter term timeframes to kind of flash them to the upside, which is why I'm telling you that in a few days, this can actually mean, yeah, no, not fundamentals, Mr. Lewis. Fundamentals actually they absolutely play a key role into the movement of price action, right? But not always. Technicals are a load of shit. So I just have to do it because if enough retail believes in it, then I have to follow the trend. Okay, that's why I learned it all, right? So I had to learn technicals, I had to learn statistics, I had to learn some physics, I had to learn some fundamentals, right? So I had to learn it in different ways, you guys. Okay, so lots of theories, which by the way, actually today, I'm going to be introducing you into something that you've never really heard me talk about, okay? Particular to the ticker symbol MAXN, I am going to be showing you a cycle right here that actually is called impulse waves from the Elliott wave theory. So there's a lot of practice that I've done over the span of time that I've been trading, right? You guys, lots and lots of reading, but it's only for me to be able to get an edge over the trade, okay? You guys, this is why I do it the way I do, is because I can see the setup, I can see the play from an Elliott wave. I can see the play from a Wyckoff theory. I can see the play from a technicals perspective. I can see the play from a statistical backtest. I can see the play from a fundamentals area. There's so many. Okay, you guys. So I just covered Tesla DB. Yes, I covered Tesla. I ended it at about 9:17 p.m. You can actually see the times right up here, right? I ended Tesla, NDX, and the SPY at 9:17. All right, you guys, so yes, this is why I'm saying that over the span of a few days, please notice that if one candle takes 3 days to finish, right? Please notice it right here. We got the new candle print, okay? The great thing about this is that this last candle that we just printed today, close above the demand zone. Okay, so which is already very bullish. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, you guys, so now we have 3 days and 15 hours. Okay, so this is a good way for you to kind of estimate how long it can take for us to make a validation of a support. Okay, you guys, so if you're seeing that it took right here these support candles in order for us to make that upside move, that was 1 2 3 4 5 6. So you have 3 times 6 plus about 22 hours, right? So per candle. So that's just to give you that area. Now this tool right down here, this little square with the box, that can actually give you the range just if you extend it. If you do it like this, it tells you right here, 26 days. Okay, you guys, so just know that there is a lot of reaccumulation that can happen in a 3-day period. Only because I'm looking at a great setup here on CRTD does not mean it's going to happen tomorrow. It means that we start preparing now for when it does happen. Okay, you guys, so this is a very good way to look at things. I love that we're covering CRTD right now because this is literally going to make millionaires, man. So CRTD is prepping for a very powerful upside move. This last candle that we printed just yesterday, or today, sorry, the 5-day iteration, by the way. Usually when you get a candle that's in this form, this is an inverted hammer, okay, on a 5-day, lots of weight to things like this, okay? This usually signals a potential reversal coming in. So there's a lot of bullish signals coming in for CRTD overall, okay, you guys? So I love it. I love it. Just expect within the next few days. Of course, anything can invalidate my thesis. Okay, guys, I'm not perfect. There's no way I can ever be perfect. Volume and price action are just, I mean, they could very well be put on random walks. Okay, you guys, there's no way. There's no way that we can actually see this, that I can tell you where it's going to go. I can just give you the probabilities, the higher probabilities. It's as soon as you start thinking about the trade as a higher probability game, the sooner you will gain that edge for a continuation to growing your portfolio. Okay, you guys, so let's go ahead and now finish off the ticker symbol CRTD because this is looking very promising. Expect a range of about, let's see, 1523 to the top side of about 2174 over the next few days, unless some type of something just invalidates what I just said and then takes it up to the upside tomorrow, right? So, but the technicals and statistics are suggesting for us to stay within this area. Okay, you guys. So that is going to do it for ticker symbol CRTD. I love it. I love it. I love it, guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by tonight. Please make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And please remember, just like Mark Roach said on that last comment, I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment. Okay, you guys? I need you to do your own due diligence. Everything will be cool. All right, so let's go ahead and now move on to the next ticker. And this is the long awaited TRKA, right? You guys, I'm just going to make a note right here. We're not going to rate CRTD, and I want to make sure that we can keep this leveled, okay? No. Actually, we're not gonna rate anything tonight, guys. Remember, jobs report is tomorrow. We have no idea. We have no idea what's going to happen to the markets, but everything is suggesting some red. Okay, so we have to be very careful. DB saying TRKA is going to crash like it didn't already, right? So, man, so... I want to actually talk to you guys about a new setup that I found. I understand that I put out the video today regarding TRKA, but there's so much mixed signal here. It's not a mixed signal even with the fundamentals and with whatever Roger Hamilton said, and with the CEO literally disappearing and deleting his freaking Twitter, which is just so stupid. Leroy Jenkins, good to see you in the chat, man. What is up? What is up? By the way, I actually covered Tesla. I ended at 917, so look right up here, okay? So that's where I ended the broader markets, NDX, SPY, and Tesla. Definitely keep an eye on that because that could be a good short, gainer. All right, so guys, continue on TRKA. This is very, very crazy right now, okay? Abner Cruz saying, Arca, my brother, I know I'm late to the party, but if you have time, can you take a look at ticker symbol VS? It's really funny that it's actually making that bear trap actually happen now, right? I freaking hate it that it has to shake the longs a little further than my actual damn target. It took it down just a little bit lower than what I actually wanted, and then now the bear trap plays. It's ridiculous. Anyway, guys, Abner, I have kind of a crazy schedule, but I will look into it because there's a lot of people asking me about it. I'm not sure that I'll do it here in the live, but I will definitely put it in to send a Discord image within that because I have a lot of thoughts regarding that. I'm actually kind of upset at VS. but I'm very happy that it's finally making that upside. Okay, you guys, this thesis that I gave you earlier for TRKA, remember I told you guys that there was a bear trap in line here. Okay, so I'm not backing out of it, but this made me feel like I needed to diminish my position about 60%. So I removed 60% of risk from this because of what's happening. Okay, so let's look at this. You guys already know that a broadening ascending wedge is a bearish formation by nature. Okay, you guys, but the thing that makes it bearish is the third test of the resistance. The thing that makes it bullish is test number 4 and 5. All right, so if we're looking at the test right now, I mean, we can go up the time frames too. Let's see. Yeah, so let's just look at it on the 12-hour. It's almost the same thing. It's just I don't want to look at too big of a gap. I want to take into consideration the after hours and pre-market trading. Okay, no, Abner, thank you, my brother. Thank you for everything you do. And so please notice this. Okay, test number 1 of the resistance, 2 of the resistance, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like that's too long. That's too long of a broadening ascending wedge. Now, just know, okay, I need to give you every single warning as possible, okay? The take profit for the short position regarding broadening ascending wedge per the playbook rules, okay? Per the playbook rules. I'm not saying we're going down there. I'm just telling you that this is how to trade it. This is the target for shorts, okay? 10 cents, 10.66, coming down from 34.95, which was initially 92.87 and potentially even 99 cents, right? So lots of downside to still look at this. The very curious part of what's happening here is that we broke the outside of the channel of the wedge, sorry, and we reclaimed the inside of it and now have tested it 1, 2, and 3 times consecutively. So, and we're still holding above that area. So now if we look on the daily, please don't mind the trend lines on the daily because they're just going to be messed up, okay? It's not this, a broadening ascending wedge is being traded on the 12-hour, not on the daily. Okay, so go ahead and notice that this gap right over here. Oh, yes, Abner, I'll go ahead and, thanks, man. I really appreciate that, dude. So, I'll go ahead and go over that with you too because I know there's a few people who are along in the Discord, that ticker too. We put up the play yesterday. So go ahead and notice right down here that this is the gap that we're holding support from right now. So we pretty much came back and filled it, right to the wick high of this candle right over here. Okay, so that's where we're holding presently. So usually when we have gaps like that, it actually has a lot of weight. Okay, so that's not to say that we can't come back down. Okay, there's another gap right over here. It doesn't matter if the gap has already filled. Okay, we keep the gaps in play for future play. Okay, so this is another psychological component that we can look into. Okay, so it's not an easy trek to the downside. If the shorts are thinking that this is an easy short, it definitely is not. Okay, there's still a lot to consider here. All right, so now let's just go ahead and take an inverse fib, right, from the complete. I mean, maybe we can do that, right? But let's just see if we can get some good targets here. That's a little too big for us to make. Okay, so let's just take it. Let's just take this candle into consideration. Which, by the way, it's a daily. It's a huge, very high quality daily inverted hammer at the end of a downtrend. Okay, so that usually signals a potential upside continuation. Okay, so this candle closing above the opening of this candle is bullish. Okay, so this is technically a confirmation candle for the upside continuation, but that's only one strategy. We have to mix and match as much as we can. We have to see every which way we can. Okay, and in this case, I was kind of hoping for the CEO to come and, you know, clean up the trash and stuff because there's a lot of confusion regarding the dilution. So this first of all, okay, you guys, we have to look at this in several ways. Okay. Let's take into consideration an inverse fib. All right, so let's just see. And we're going to validate the downside or upside with volatility, okay? And momentum. Hold on just a sec. I just want to put something in my notes here. All right. Perfect. So, yeah, we do have the one, this target here of this gap. It's very curious that it's landing right in between the 1.272 and the 1.618. Okay, you guys, so that's already a golden mean that we're looking at. Okay, so now if we're looking at an overall at an overall fib target, let's do it like this, okay? So the very top side, right, to the very lowest area where the formation started. Okay, so right now we're holding support right at the 236. Okay, so the knot 236 is very relevant and something that we usually respect. We don't have to do anything. I'm sorry. It just is usual that we respect that knot 236. A lot of times, price action tends to come right near the 236 zones. Very oftentimes we actually face the 4-spot 236 or the knot 236. Okay, so I'm just giving you relevance here. Okay, you guys. So now that we know that we're in geometrical potentials, let's go ahead and see or refer to momentum to kind of validate what we can potentially go to. Okay, so let's see. First of all, in a shorter time frame. This isn't a bear flag, but it is considered to be a continuation formation, okay, and that is a symmetrical triangle, okay. So let me just go and show you just like this, okay. So this is something that we should kind of take into consideration here, okay. So bear flags usually move on to the upside in the channel, okay. Symmetrical triangles are actually bi-directional. They can be traded either way. Now, in order for you to kind of gain the price objective for this, you just take a trend line from the top of the triangle to the lowest point of the triangle, and you apply it to the supposed area of breakout. On the bi-hourly, we're at about 70% to the completion of the apex. Okay, so that we're looking at a breakout very soon. Okay, so in this particular formation, when it's coming from a downtrend, it usually signals a continuation to the downside. Okay, but remember, it's still a symmetrical triangle, okay, because this can be traded both ways. So this is why I'm saying that this is a very, very complex ticker because of all of the psychological components applied into it. Okay, the sentiment has literally destroyed this. All right, so I want to look at the 30-minute RSI and see what it's got for the immediate short term. Okay, upside on the 30-minute. Let's see the bi-hourly. The bi-hourly, it's actually, man, this is consolidating. Man, I hate it. Okay, 6 hour, slightly bearish, and it's already losing some bear pressure right here. It's not in the gravitational zone, so we're getting a hint of downside right here from the 14-day moving average, right? So this is a little bit of consolidation, slightly bearish. Let's continue. The 12-hour is also in the similar situation as that 6 hour, but let me look at the 8. Similar situation here too. Let's look at the bi-daily. Okay, so the bi-daily is making that bearish cross below the actually the 3-day may have the support. Let me see. Yeah, it does. All right, so the 3-day may be the saving grace here. Okay, you guys. So if we are kind of looking at the 3-day as our area of or a saving grace, then we could potentially continue on the downside here to the 3-day, which would be confluent to the down to the lower end of this gap, or the top side of this gap right here. Okay, so in other words, what I'm saying is that there could be a loading zone between 3160 and about 2534 of which, I mean, if it does happen that way, then yes, then that would be more inclined to creating a bear trap. Okay, but right now, the biggest bull trap of all was actually right in this zone right here. And why in that zone? Well, because we were already peaking at the top side of a huge supply area. Another thing to notice is there was a huge gap right over here. And if you look at the cursor all the way to the right to the candles where we printed at that very 89-cent zone on top, you can see that where we topped out, right? It was already kind of there, but just the narrative was to take this at $1.50, right? So very interesting way to kind of blind everybody. So yeah, guys, so this is mixed signal, not quite a bear flag, definitely a symmetrical triangle that can be played both ways. We have volatility versus momentum primed, starting from the, let's see, actually the 12-hour minute. The 12-hour is primed. Let's see, man, the 8-hour is primed, the 6-hour is primed, the 4-hour is primed. Yeah, so, and actually, let me see the hourly. Man. All right, so, I mean, if we're looking at this, guys, if we're looking at this, honestly, 4-hour, 6-hour, 8-hour, I'm looking at this, okay, I'm looking at critical volatility expanded and oversold, okay? So this is what I'm looking for. All of those time frames are there, Okay, so now let's go to the buy daily. This is the downside suggestion. Even still, this was the flash that we got from this candle here. So all of the immediate short-term timeframes are suggesting a crazy push to the upside. This is why I'm saying that this is, it's so bearish and so bullish all at once, guys. I need whoever is trading TRKA, you absolutely need to be super careful with your risk management and be very creative with the way that you are scaling out of this, okay? Because there is so much danger here, okay? So, I mean, that's why I'm just, guys, if we get the 4 hour, starting from the 4 hour, right, all the way to the 12 hour, if we get these 4 time frames to actually realize the physics here, then all of these will flash every single time frame in the upper term time frames, and this will rocket ship, okay? So, remember, it's on the 7th test of a bearish formation. That usually that's not good. Okay, so the 7th test is not good for shorts. I'm just saying that, okay? And the 7th test being on the 12 hour primed for an upside. Man, this is dangerous for literally everyone. Okay, so yeah, Schrodinger's cat, absolutely. Oh my goodness. So yeah, you guys, so I'm not gonna, you already know the downside targets here, okay? But we're still holding at a critical support. I'm just going to end TRKA here because this thing is actually giving me a massive headache. And I hate it. Guys, it's almost impossible to be able to kind of see where an asset can go when the sentiment is what's driving it and not the statistics, okay? So sentiment getting a little too insane right now. DB, love you too, man. Thank you so much for everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, please make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Okay, you guys. So let's go ahead and finish off. Man, actually, DB is DB for decibel, or why are you putting DB? Did you put it in that manner because you're also into sound, or why? I was curious over that actually. And thank you for complimenting my voice. A lot of people tend to say that you sound like you're already famous. And I'm like, man, I am nope, don't say that. I'm not famous. Although I was surprised to see that the Arca Bulls YouTube broke 6,000 just yesterday. Very interesting times. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for supporting the channel and supporting the Arca Bulls family. I love it. I love it. All right, so until May 15th to make that $1 mark, plenty of time, man. March, April, May, June, July, that's 4 months, man. Arcaberry White. 10K soon for Arca, right, man? I hope so. So you're gonna rejoin, but let's see. I've been OG from Twitter. We got DMs. Okay, yeah, of course, man. Yeah, we definitely got the DMs. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you so much. Really appreciate all of the support, right, guys? So now we need to move on to the next ticker, guys. And actually, man, I'm just getting a little thirsty here. Let me take a sip of water. And get some electrolytes in me too, right? Because my goodness, TRKA, guys, is for real, man. TRKA is giving me a ridiculous headache. And it's giving me a headache because I don't want anyone to lose. It's giving me a headache because it's just incredibly dangerous for both shorts and for longs. You know, it's terrible. Yeah, man. Yeah. I just got the electrolytes in, so hopefully that can help us continue on the analysis, right? So, guys, next ticker, that is going to be ticker symbol VIRI. If you are familiar with this ticker, this was actually one that I looked at a couple weeks ago when I was when I was invited to be a speaker on a pretty large space call. I'm not even sure what it was, right? But I was invited to be a speaker in a space call, and they asked me, Frank, that's right, Frank Benedetto asked me to look at ticker symbol VIRI, and I told him that it would have a pretty interesting upside continuation. I'm not sure when that was, but it looks like it did happen. So that's good. I looked at it ever so slightly, right? Oh my goodness, man. So Mr. Levitt saying, first Arca vid I watched when he had 10 subs. I was like, where has this guy been? This is the best TA I've seen. My dude, thank you so much. DB, have a very good night. Thank you so much for stopping by. All right. So thank you, Mr. Levitz. You're so kind, man. I can't believe how fast this has grown, right? But nonetheless, guys, we are riding an ascending channel here for ticker symbol VIRI. And remember, okay, ascending channels are bearish by nature. The good thing here is, let's just kind of clear the chart up so that we can count some resistance touches. Okay, so we have resistance touch number 1. So I'm starting the trend from down here. Okay, I'm not starting it from the top. I mean, if I started it from the top, it was just going to be some awkward area down here where it's not a wick. Okay, so I do a combination. If you're curious, right, I do a combination of wick to body closures, or even overall lows. I don't see right here, it's body, this is wick. I tend to combine it because I find a bigger edge doing that. Okay, so we're riding, yes, we're riding this ascending channel with test number 1, 2, 3, and now 4. Okay, so test number 3 is that capitulation event. Okay, so meaning that the shorts open up on test 3, they cover at a geometrical area, right, and then the covering usually comes back to validate the newly converted, or I'm sorry, validate the resistance one more time before a continuation to the downside. First of all, we didn't get the touch all the way to the channel. That's already a bad sign. Now, whatever happened here, shorts opened up, and then massive bull trap happened within this area, right? So, I'm sorry, bear trap happened within this area. Bulls took it right up to the top, creating a test number 4. So please remember, I said that usually when you're surpassing test number 3 of a bearish formation, that usually signals that usually signals the longs to continue this and make an even bigger bear trap. Okay, so with that said, let's now see what we got in store for the ticker symbol VIRI. Okay, let's refer to volatility. I want to refer to it in the 5-day volatility versus momentum. Okay, so let's just see what we have and if there's any potential setups happening. Okay, so already reaching critical contraction right here, but we're still suggesting some, I don't even know what to call that. Yes, it looks like downside, but it looks like it's regenerative in some sort. It looks like it's trying to reaccumulate again for another continuation. Let's just go down the line and see what we have. Okay, so this is what I mean. Okay, so we're already getting an upside pivot here on the buy daily, and we're critically contracted. Okay, so volatility right now is so tight. Okay, so if I can give you a visual of what that kind of looks like, it would be something like this. Okay, so let's just I'm gonna give you a visual like this of volatility. Okay, let me make another drawing, but this one is gonna be the inverse. Okay, so this is essentially what you're looking at right now. Okay, so this is contraction, and this right here is expansion. Okay, so this being maxed out, these blue bars represent a 2-day read because we are on the 2-day chart. Okay, so when we're critically contracted, that means that we're building so much pressure in here to the point to where we're just going to create a big bang. Okay, and that is essentially what's happening here. Now, if you pair it with momentum, critical contraction versus momentum with an upside pivot, we're starting to get the idea that the potential to the upside may be a higher likelihood than the downside. Okay, so this is it's very important to match or to combine volatility with momentum. Let's move down the line again. Let's go to the daily. Okay, so on the daily, we are getting closer and closer to critical expansion, still with an upside pivot. I mean, this is just to be corrective, right? So let's continue on. Okay, upside pivot still relevant from critical contraction on the 12-hour. Okay, good stuff, and it's actually still suggesting that upside here, even in price action. Let's go to the 8-hour and see what we got. Okay, so the 8-hour is, let's see, let's measure this. It's very close to critical expansion. It looks like it's starting to correct to the upside. Okay, so this is still consolidating, and it's very likely to stay sideways for some time before. Is there, guys, if you know ticker symbol VIRI, is there something that we're waiting for? Let's see. Oh, yeah, right there. It's saying, oh no, November 3rd, never mind. That said, it was therapeutics to report third quarter financial results. Yeah, never mind. There's no news even coming out. There's a earnings report coming up on the 14th, which is next week. So it's very likely why we're consolidating right now. We're waiting for that earnings report to kind of make a reaction here. So, yeah, the music is still playing. I can go ahead and dim it down just a little bit. Thank you so much, Mark. Really appreciate you, dude. So it's VIRI earnings Tuesday during CPI. That is so unfortunate. Why would they do that around CPI? They're gonna face the pressures of the market. CPI is such an incredibly important metric, fundamental, macroeconomic metric that we need to keep an eye on. That's such a terrible time to release the earnings, man. Jeez. Okay, so yeah, let's now refer now that we got volatility out of the way, there is a setup potentially in the higher term timeframes. But now regarding the short term time frame, let's see what we have. Okay, so immediate short term 30-minute suggesting a downside, right? So and the downside is actually consolidation. Why am I saying that? Well, because we're bouncing from the gravitational zones and using that 14-day simple. So in this case, we're in the gravitational zone of the opposing zone, okay? The opposing percentile, sorry. This is the bear weakness. So we're in this gravitational zone. Very likely we can face an upside here. Then we would face a resistance from the 14-day and that gravitational zone too. So we very likely are trading like this for the immediate short term. Let's see the buy hourly. Buy hourly suggesting some downside as well. That is a little more convincing. The 6 hour is showing that the buy hourly downside would be limited. And the reason why limited is because we have the 14-day simple right down here as a support, which can be used for an upside bounce. Okay, so very similar situation happening to the 12 hour. And it already looks like the bears are losing a little bit of strength in this situation. Okay, so there very likely could be a touch, maybe not even all the way down to the 14-day simple moving average on a 12-hour RSI. Let's see the daily. The daily is already at support, which makes me feel like the buy daily may have the 14-day simple moving average below and really close to it. Let's just see. All right, so yeah, we have that 14-day simple below us. We've been using it as a form of support and a guide to the upside. So this is very bullish for it. Okay, I like it. I like it. So if you are looking at this is a this is a downside. Okay, this is a downside, and then we printed a huge inverted hammer. Okay, so this could be indicative of a massive reversal coming in. So bullish hammer and bullish hammer, kind of back to back. That could be presenting an interesting situation for us. Let's go to the 3-day and see what it's got. 3-day has that support right below us as well. Very likely continuing on to the upside in the macro timeframes. Okay, so yeah, guys, it's waiting. It's pensive, and if we're gonna look at a downside target tomorrow, very likely we can touch down to the range of about 33.05 to about 33.40. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave this right over here like this. Okay. Very likely we can touch in this zone tomorrow, even if we come back down to the lower end of this gap, which would be 32.04, then it would be still okay, because then we would validate yet again the support of the ascending channel. Okay, so that's still okay. So that's what I'm looking at for ticker symbol VIRI. It's slow moving right now. Okay, so it looks like there's really not much volume happening. So the average volume right now 441,000. Yeah, it's very low right now, guys. So I wouldn't suggest any type of entry just yet until we get more validations or some type of confirmation that we would face an upside, right? So yeah, that's gonna do it for ticker symbol VIRI. Everybody, thank you so much for listening in. And now, yeah, so I wanna look at ticker now. This is gonna be let's see. So Jesse, I can put it on the list. I already kind of had the schedule ready, right? But I'm going to go ahead and put it on here nonetheless. Okay, so if I can't cover it today, then very likely we'll cover it in the next live stream, all right? So let me just go ahead and put it in here for you, and I have it in. So SBNY, got it in. Okay. All right, so yeah, let's now move on to the next ticker, and I just want to make sure that I have a note here that we are starting it, right? So the next ticker, guys, is going to be ticker symbol EPAZ, and this ticker is very interesting because it's in the process of actually making a macro reversal. Okay, so why is it a macro reversal? Well, first of all, a descending channel in general is a signal of a reversal in price at some point, right? Jesse, not a problem, man. Thank you so much. So in this case, we've been riding this descending channel since August 11th, 2020. Okay, so this is even before the bull cycle. Okay, so and let's see. So from December 1st, 2020 to February 2021, this is when the bear cycle started. Okay, so yeah, very, very interesting the way it's following the market cycle. A little different than the, you know, the mega caps and all that stuff, but still, it's in some way, shape, or form resembling that. Okay, so this macro scale channel presents the opportunity for a potential macro scale reversal. Okay, so it is in fact in that process already. Okay, so now another thing to notice here, remember that we talked about this on the NDX and also on the SPY, right? So we actually have a silver cross right down here consisting of the EMA 20 crossing the EMA 50. Okay, so historically speaking, this silver cross is a very bullish cross. All right, so, and we are respecting that 20-day exponential moving average on our way up. We can still get a little more surgical and add the 7 period. And see, we have the 7 period and the 30 period exponential all pivoted towards the upside and using it as very relevant areas of support. Okay, so this is absolutely bullish. This thing is just, I mean, the RSI on the daily is, let's see, it still has space, historically speaking, right? So let's just zoom out and see what the potentials could be. Okay, so I mean, right now we'll just list where we are, right? So we are at 80 spot 47%, and historical highs of the RSI momentum are right back here in a, that was a big fall of something in the kitchen. Hold on, guys. All right, good. So he's not crying. He's good. He just destroyed something. I don't know what he destroyed. All right. So this was December 2017, and that went all the way up to, let's see, geez, 97.79%, almost maxed out momentum there. So we're at, I mean, this is lots and lots of room to still go. Historically speaking, remember, historically speaking, okay, because we do have other areas that we can look out for, right? So just don't take it like I'm just saying we're going to the moon, but this thing is still pumping to the upside, very, very much continuing into tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Okay, so if you want to just get that short answer, yes, it still has massive upside, but I want to touch on volatility versus momentum here because we are back to back. Okay, this is something to notice here. This is one iteration of just critical volatility, right? And then we actually have another one backed in. So the reason why it's another one is because we retraced to the 82 percentile here and then maxed out again, printing our first daily iteration again with momentum right over here. Let me get rid of the RSI just a little bit. And please notice that we're still in the bullish control zone, getting very close to the overbought percentile. And this is now barely entering critical volatility and maxed out critical volatility. This is very, very likely to continue massive upside from this point. Let's look at the buy daily because very likely the buy daily may have momentum even lower with an upside pivot. Let's see. There you go. Critical volatility and lower. So this means that we still have massive, massive room to continue on to the upside with this ticker. And go ahead and notice that the 3-day is barely entering critical volatility. I'm talking about the maxed out volatility with now a brand new fired signal to the upside. So now it's looking like it's going to be a week of upside for this. Let's go to the 5-day iteration. Notice that the 5-day is printing its first 5-day bar and we still have an upside pivot. Guys, this is absolutely powerful. This is definitely continuing an upside. Okay, so, and I mean, the only thing is here is that please remember the valuation of this stock is just literally 2 cents right now. Okay, so that's very dangerous. Okay, so here is another bullish thing to back even more so. Okay, check this out. 14 hours and 57 minutes to complete this weekly candle. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. My goodness. My goodness. What I'm saying is that closing this candle above the area of about, let's see, 0146 would essentially, I mean, just validate a massive macro upside for this. Okay, so of course it's going to be choppy, but this thing is about to close a weekly candle. And that is definitely something to keep into high consideration here, okay? Because this is not done. This is definitely not done. And let me actually just block out something right here. And man, look at this right over here. The weekly SMA 20, and it's preparing to make a cross Here is the, if you can see, the dot is right here for the SMA, I'm sorry, for the EMA 50. Weekly silver cross. That couldn't get any more bullish, okay? It's getting close to it now. So this means that whatever this price action did in 14 hours and 55 minutes when this weekly candle closes, then this is going to reflect whatever happened here. Okay, so that means that we're going to get a silver cross on the weekly. Oh man. All right, so volatility upside in several time frames. Potential silver cross on the weekly. We're breaking out of this macro scale channel. RSI suggesting even the weekly to the upside. I don't even know what's happening fundamentally on this, but it's probably something large. I'm not even sure what the heck it could be, right? But it's still there. Another thing to notice is that it's never had an earnings miss. Every single earnings have been to expectations. It's never been a beat though, but it's never been a miss, which is very important. And this has been trading for quite some time. It's been trading since 2015. Okay, so now let's look at the immediate short-term, guys, opportunities within this one for sure. Okay, this is starting to happen. Okay, so moderator Hound actually brought this to my attention. Thank you so much, Hound, yet again for another banger, man. All right, so and you can see that the EMA 20 is respected. It's being respected by the price action on that 30-minute short term. Okay, so this is highly likely to continue an upside. RSI 30-minute immediate short term looking like it's slowing down just a little bit. Historically speaking, there could be some iterations to where we have been this high already, but I'm not even sure. So let me draw a line where we are now and see just historically if we're about to pull back, right? So it's actually very important for us to notice this as well. So let's see. Man, very close to it. All right, I think that's enough data for the last 2 years. So, oh yeah, there it is. One time. So we could still actually go up a little bit more. 92 spot 21. We're at 89. So the 30 minutes still has some upside to go before it can actually face a type of reaccumulation period. But trust me when I say that this is not actually a reaccumulation like a capitulation, right? So the buy hourly still suggesting massive upside in this. The danger here, guys, the danger here, although there is a lot of opportunity, is that at any moment, somebody that bought here at 2 zeros and 19 is at 2 cents. Okay, so that's I mean, I'm not even gonna go all the way down, but whoever that person is currently up about 1,000%. Okay, so meaning that this has already changed lives all around. Okay, so if that person takes profit, this can likely make this capitulate because it's so tiny, right? So the risk is huge in this. Okay, so this is where we would have to play it very smart. It's look at this. Okay, market cap sitting at 740,000, and you have the float at 37.7 million. Okay, so that's it's very risky. Okay, wow, BTC at 19,009. Damn. That's all of that. It's futures red. Guys, very likely red day tomorrow like we were talking about. But anyway, so that's the danger, okay? So let's look at the 6-hour RSI now. Okay, so 6-hour RSI is suggesting a continuation to the upside while we're getting, man, no way. It's still suggesting upside here in momentum too with critical volatility. Jeez, to find a pullback from this, guys, is going to be very difficult, and it may actually be in the hourly, this is why I was saying, remember the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame, I was telling you losing a little bit of strength, right? Still, historically speaking, it still has another couple percent to go to the upside, but here's momentum suggesting a pivotal point. Okay, so there could be a loading zone for this in the immediate short term, and I'm talking really short term, not in the higher term time frames. Well, let's see, the 4-hour. No, damn, yeah, no. 30-minute and 15-minute may actually be those gaps. Yeah, 30-minute actually, damn. All right, so let's get surgical with this. Let's go to the EMA 7 and 30. Okay, so, and also let's take into consideration a fib. And that fib we're going to have to get creative with. Damn it. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to take a fib from the overall high to the range low right here, this low. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put it right there and see what we have below us. Okay, so right away okay, so the EMA 7 and the NOT 618 very close together, very high confluence there. Okay, so this could be a space for reaccumulation. If you want to take a screenshot now, this is what you're looking at. Okay, so let me just so this is the area number 1 to kind of look at. Okay, the second area, yeah, nice. The second area is confluent with the bottom side of the golden pocket, which is the NOT 382 and the 618. Okay, between this area is the golden pocket. Very, very bullish area to sit in. Okay, so here is the second zone for loading. Okay, so let's look at it like this, to the EMA 20, because we've been respecting it. Okay, so this is so this is the second zone. If you want to take a screenshot, there you go. All right, so very, very likely we can actually see a retracement back to at least the bottom side into the NOT 618. And the reason why I'm giving you the second target is because of this. Let me get rid of, or let me just make it a little larger. Here we go. Okay, the reason why I'm giving you this target as well is because you can see that periodically we come back to test the EMA 20, right? So right here, we came back right there as well. EMA 20 test right there. Wow, yeah, this candle can't even see anything on this one right here. Came back to test that EMA 20, and we haven't done it yet. So now seeing that the 30-minute RSI is critically overbought, and we have that 14-day simple moving average located right down here, there could be the potential to where we can face that EMA 20 touch yet again. Okay, so, I mean, that's going to scare off a lot of people too, though, right? So if we're sitting right now at 0198, yeah, at just almost 2 cents, let's just measure that EMA 20 drop, okay? So that's going to be 25.67%. Please be careful, okay? Because that can actually suggest some people getting stopped out, some people that don't know how to put their stop losses to geometric areas or moving average areas, right? So that can stop people out. All right, it's not a bad thing. It's just a little bit of lack of experience, right? It's just exposure to the markets. It doesn't mean that it's bad trading. It's just you see the games that they play, market makers and the algorithms. You see the games that they play over and over, right? So in this area here, very likely for us to actually touch down to this zone here, even a potential wick down to the EMA 30. Which is located right at about 0135. Less likely though, but it's still there. Okay, but remember that this is the 30 minutes, so this entry is going to have to be very fast. Okay, so upon reaccumulation in this area, what I'm saying is that we would potentially build the second phase of what you're looking at here. Okay, so just like this, like a huge capitulation candle to the downside from the EMA 20, recovery, consolidation, and then the upside, right? So in this particular area, yeah, capitulation, and then a reaccumulation zone, and then an upside continuation. But make sure to keep a stop loss on this, because very likely someone can take their profits, right? And this thing can capitulate. Right, you guys, so don't be the result of capitulation events, okay? We don't want to do that, because then you're going to face a loss, and then we have to create a strategy for you to be able to get out safely and all that whole stuff, right? But EPAZ is definitely a situation to keep an eye on, right? So this is a huge opportunity, and it's particular to, let's see, so very likely tomorrow can be a reaccumulation day if the sentiment and psychology don't already just rocket ship this to the upside. Okay, so very likely the next day or two for reaccumulation, followed by an upside. Okay, so the entry is near, meaning in tomorrow, for preparation for the following 2 or 3 days. So this is definitely a swing play, and you know that I don't like to actually hold these as a swing play. Okay, so it's dangerous, but it's definitely suggesting a swing. Okay, you guys, so this is any upside targets? Yeah, sure. Let's look into those. I already took that overall range, right? So let me look into this actually. Let me get rid of the moving averages and now look at the potentials. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so when you wanna know what targets to look out for, always look for your higher pivots, right? Like these huge peaks, and you'll likely see that we're geometrically aligned with them, right? So in this case, the candle would be a very good area to consider, right? And the top side of this is just, I mean, look at the cursor to the right. See where it's sitting, the top side of this? Right at the 2.618. Let me go to the body and the closing of this, and this candle right here, the body. Look at the cursor on the right. See where it's sitting? The 1.618. It's geometrically following, okay? So I'm sorry, the asset is following geometrics very closely. Okay, so very likely we can see a touch of the 1.618 at 0266. Okay, so let me just mark that there. All right, so now the closing of these candles here, which is also the support touches of these areas over here, the supports of these over here. Look to the right. Look at the cursor. See where it's sitting? Right at the 1.272, which is right below the geometric target. Right, so very likely we have, I mean, this, I don't want to say fractal, but it's following some type of wave. Okay, so it's I'm just being very, I'm speculating here. Okay, the next zone, of course, the 2.618, 368 to the actually just to the 2 fib. Okay, the 2 fib is very important here because the 2 fib plays the resistance of all of these major pivots. All right, so in this area we have, go ahead and take your screenshot here, right? So this is your take profit screenshot. Let me just do this, and this is the take profit 1 and 2, right? And let's just measure that actually. So if you're looking at entry from the top side of this demand zone, that is a 31% move to the upside for the first take profit. Second take profit would be about 51.43. Third, 74.86. And the fourth, 110% to the upside. So yeah, so year to date, 625% up is massive. Thank you, Mark. That is crazy. But guys, this has a huge opportunity. Okay, so if we were to look at other targets, of course, just, I mean, look at the cursor to the right. See where the 3.618 is, where all of these candles are peaking at the top. This is following geometrics to the T. Okay, you guys. So I mean, this isn't always the answer, right? It's better for us to kind of statistically back this, but we don't have the time to make that a huge statistical back test, right? So very likely, I'm sorry. Not as likely, right? But this is the second area, right? So in case you want to take a screenshot, here it is. And let me just go ahead and remove this now. Yeah, maybe Hound. It could possibly be it. It's just I have a hard time believing that it could be following algos because they're algorithms. They have the power to create literally infinite variations. Why the heck would it create one and stick to it, right? But and this is the third and I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the 5 and 6 targets that could be in line, right? So in case you want to take a screenshot, that's why I'm saying, just allowing a little bit of time there. So if you're looking at a percentage to that top side, from the top side of our loading zone, that's 148%, and then the top side being 167.73%. This is absolutely huge. Right? Yeah, I know, Hound. I mean, me too, dude. It's just that's why I said I don't want to say fractal, because algorithmically speaking, it can create infinite variations. And why the heck would Citadel or other market makers invest $300 on a 2003 Dell laptop with Windows Vista in it to create the algorithms for trading? I have a feeling they have a bigger penny for computers to create, or a bigger penny for developers to create very sophisticated algos that can really have an edge over the trade. So guys, yeah, this is definitely an opportunity to look at. I'm definitely a fan of this ticker, regardless of its valuation, right? It's very tiny, very high risk, but it absolutely has an opportunity for us to kind of keep into consideration. Let's end the analysis now for ticker symbol EPAZ. Thank you so much for bringing it to our attention here. Moderator Hound, you are too kind, my good sir. So we'll go ahead and touch on this in the Discord a little later, right, you guys? So now, actually, let me make a quick note that I did and that one. And remember, guys, we're not going to rate anything right now. Tomorrow is going to be such a dangerous day. All of these economic reports are always a very dangerous day. All right, so I don't want to encourage anyone to get locked and just lost, right? Because tomorrow has that potential. So the next ticker, guys, we're going to be looking at ticker symbol LHDXQ, okay, which is the now newly converted pink, or the new OTC ticker. It was actually Sebastian Lim coming up with these crazy plays, man. I love it, dude. Thank you so much for that. By the way, my dude, really appreciate that. Okay, so LHDXQ is next. Man, so this one's yet again another headache. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about was volatility versus momentum on the daily, because we are starting to respect that regression line that we had. We actually called it, days ago, and it would be highly likely for us to find a support touch here and just create that natural ebb and flow. Okay. So what's happening here is for sure we still have a little bit of downside to go before this thing can reaccumulate and continue on to the upside, but that's absolutely fine. Okay, so if you're long LHDXQ, just expect this to have another reaccumulation phase. Okay, so if we're going to look at a reaccumulation phase, the most obvious target for us to look at is 33.57. We're currently sitting at about, actually, let me look at the 12-hour. Of course, it's going to be 42 because no after hours. I'm sorry. It's just I forget that it's a pink now. Okay, so the other zone that I wanted for you to take a look at was this right over here. So in the event to where we do cover the smaller gap, right, because we have this candle high here, this wick high, to this candle here, which actually makes a very large gap, right? So, but this candle to this candle makes a shorter gap. So some people could be trading this one. Some people could be trading this one. Some people could be trading this one, which is why we're at support right now. Literally where we are is the gap from here to here. Okay. So it's just many ways for us to look at this. Okay. So, daily RSI suggesting downside, already validating our thesis. Okay. So, downside in the immediate short-term time frame, 30 minutes, good deal. Okay, the buy hourly still suggesting some downside here as well. Let's look at the 6 hour. Okay, downside on the 6 hour, man, yeah, for sure. This thing is definitely, it wants to reaccumulate in this area here. Okay, so I want you guys to keep an eye on this because very likely this can happen. Okay, so and in doing so, then we would actually start kind of making the volatility versus momentum and the shorter time frames start to pivot towards those upsides, right? And then little by little, we'll start getting these on the higher term time frames. Okay, so right now, the immediate attention is going to be between the areas of about 30. I prepared this already, so this is why I'm going kind of fast, right? So 28.21 to about 33.55. This is the area where we're looking for tomorrow. Okay, you guys, and this would then potentially consolidate. Possible bounce here, but not very likely. Consolidation area before a try to the upside. Days and days away. Okay, the sentiment seems to be slowing down on this, which is only normal. Okay, so the 3-day RSI showing us that bottom side support right down here, very much confluent with the areas that we're looking down here. Okay, you guys, so wait for it. Wait for LHDXQ if you are trading this. Okay, it has upside, but it just has to prepare for it, and we're probably a week or two away. If sentiment or psychology doesn't come in and just long this thing and take it to the upside. Okay, so yeah, let's just go ahead and finish off LHDXQ right over here, as it doesn't have really much for us to look at other than just downside and sideways. Right, so very good stuff. Okay, you guys, if you are new to the chat, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you, guys. Let's continue on to the next ticker. Okay, you guys, so this is going to be ticker symbol RETA. And I'm actually very confused over, you see the circle right up there? It's just, this is where the price action is. Okay, so what I wanted to say about this is just because of this type of price action, it kind of hinders my ability a little bit. Okay, so this, I mean, we were once here and then we're not. Right, we literally teleported up there. Like, why did it do that? I don't even understand why that happened. Was it on? I mean, was it the earnings or why the hell? No, the earnings actually capitulated this thing. So, let's see. Fell on fears of less flexible FDA. This analyst isn't worried. Okay, so there is some. This is 6 days ago. So I mean, fell. That doesn't look like it fell. It's still very much pumped to the upside. I can give you some bias on this. Okay, so the RETA is looking like it wants to reaccumulate in the immediate short term. Okay, so if it wants to reaccumulate the immediate short term, then there is a target to look out for. Okay, so very likely it can actually come down. And this is actually I know it's 30-minute, right? But it's a shooting star and very high quality, respecting the SMA 100. The assumption to come back to the SMA 10 is very fair. Okay, so 83.14 could be that bottom side, right? But it is a range because we do have a critical demand zone right over here. Okay, so like this to the SMA 10, 30-minute immediate short-term time frame reaccumulation zone could be located right in this zone here. Okay, so now let's move on to the bi-hourly and see what it's got. So bi-hourly time frame suggesting a bullish cross. Okay, so it's downside, but it's still upside of it. See what I mean? I've just seen this so many times that I can tell you when it's on the upside. The negative part about this is that it's crossing it on a downward pivot. Okay, so if we were crossing it in an upward pivot, then it would be a little more bullish, but nonetheless, it's still looking good. Bi-hourly hammer candle suggesting an upside, and we're still getting it. So this could be known as what some people consider to be a V-shaped recovery. Okay, another thing is that on the bi-hourly time frame, since I am suggesting a downside to this level here, is that we could be in the process of, I hate it, building an inverse herp and derp, right? So we have the potential shoulder coming in tomorrow. Okay, so that could lead to something. Okay, but it's the bi-hourly, especially in these tiny time frames. This can not realize to the upside. Let's move on. 6 hour. 6 hour time frame consolidation. Let's go to the 12-hour consolidation. Very likely in respects to the data coming out tomorrow. Okay, you guys. So. It looks like it has downside overall because it is flashed to the upside, right? So that a lot of people can see this as a negative thing, okay? Because volatility and momentum in the higher term timeframes, they're all kind of suggesting a downside up to the bi-daily. So so there is downside to be figured first, okay? If this thing does want to make a macro scale downside, then the 3-day SMA 10 located at about 7202 alongside the 3-day SMA 200, 7202, right? Very high confluence there. So that could be an area for bouncing over the next week or so. And then this could actually face a massive bounce to the upside. But very likely going to come back down to this zone, okay? Short-term targets in here, I wouldn't suggest it. In respects to volatility and momentum. All right, guys. So let's just go ahead and finish off this ticker. It's very dangerous. Okay, so keep your eyes out on this one. All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and now move on to the next ticker, and that is going to be DLYT. Lots of people talking about this ticker. I don't know why, but it is here now, and let's speak about it. All right, so DLYT on the 12-hour time frame is very specific for me because we are riding a broadening descending wedge, which is usually a bullish signal. Okay, so if you are, a bullish reversal signal. So if you are curious as to where the take profit for this formation is, it's right up here. Okay, so it's going to be located at the very genesis of the formation itself, which is located at about $1.81. Okay, so this is the overall take profit for longs. Okay, so it's good. It's good. The reason why we're holding in this area is because of a very long-standing support where we're in right now. Okay, so the range is actually located obviously right here. This chop is very algorithmic. Okay, so this means that there's no volume and it's the algo trading within itself. Okay, so it would be literally this is the target. The candle right here, this little green candle, you see it there where the red line is? That's where it's holding support. All right, so this is essentially that demand zone where we're holding. Okay, so this is potentially why we can actually face an upside soon. Please notice volatility versus momentum here on the 12-hour that we're actually approaching the critical volatility zone, and we're also approaching a critical floor. Okay, so potentially this can actually start making the move to the upside. Let's look at the 8-hour. So any day now, here we go. The 8-hour is already showing signs of an upside, and this is potentially going to reach a completely contracted level. Let's go to the buy daily, actually. Let's see what it's got. The buy daily, okay, so yeah, definitely some downside to look for, right? But it's almost floored. Okay, critical volatility here, already getting close to oversold. The 3 days is not going to be as substantial, but it's probably, yeah, critical volatility and a little higher, right? So it's still okay, and it looks like it's actually failing regression right there. So let's see if it actually is. Okay, so we can take a trend line just like that. I mean, it's very close to it. It doesn't mean that it can't actually retrace from it, right? It's fair enough to actually consider an upside continuation on that, right? So. But yeah, the critical volatility would actually be in the shorter term time frames, and it's prepping for it. Okay, so what I'm saying here is that we're potentially looking at some sideways trading. Look at this. This has just been sideways for days. So it's still looking like sideways, in fact. Definitely loading something. It looks like it's loading a very nice something, right? But it may be slow. Okay, and it may actually take some time. If there is going to be some type of fundamental something, then yeah, it's just it'll make that upside. All right, you guys. So this one, I feel like it's at a great demand zone, but we're days away from it actually making any type of upside move. DLYT done there. Now, guys, let's just finish off this analysis here. I have space for about one more ticker. Okay, so actually this ticker is going to be ticker symbol TENX. I know there's a lot of people talking about this ticker, okay? So, and the reason why I want to talk about it is also because I think Teddy Zane is also talking about it. Lots of influencers are talking about this ticker, which is a good thing, right? When there's a trend, there's a friend. Please don't laugh at that. All right. So let's look at ticker symbol 10X and see what it's got for us. Okay, you guys. So broadening descending wedge on the daily chart. Very, very specific. Okay, so right away, if I were able to kind of guess where the downside or where the floor would be for this, it's either very close or actually, let me see the 12-hour. What valuation does it have there? 47, right? And then 46.34. So damn. Okay, so even still a little lower. Historically speaking, I don't think we have anything down here, right? So yeah, no. Wow, this thing's been actually, yeah, I remember 10X has been trading since 1996, 1995 actually. So, and it's had on and offs with the earnings, right? Let's go ahead and just take a look at the market cap as well. So let's see. Market cap is a tiny 4.2 million, and then we have a float of yeah, this is a micro cap for sure. Okay, 7.01 mil. And if I were to just kind of guess, the downside is particular to this area here at about 33.11. Now let's take into consideration a fib though. Okay, so let's take it from the swing low overall, right, to the swing high of the day of the present day. So now if we were looking at this target right down here, we can actually see that it's starting to get really close to that 2.272 at 31.33, which now makes me very curious that actually this fib may not be trading the way I just did it. It actually may be trading from the previous day. So let's do the previous day fib, swing high to swing low, or swing low to swing high, sorry, and then match it to the targets down here. Okay, so in the next day, right at the 4.236 at 33.22, and it's right upside of the 4.618, which gives us what? Well, guys, that gives us a support range. Okay, so let's take into consideration the support touch of the broadening descending wedge, right? And take the 4.618 into high consideration, right? So this would be an area of loading in this, all right? So the reason why I'm saying this is particular to the RSI on the daily. It's still suggesting downside, okay? So now historically speaking on the daily, this can technically still, forever itself all the way down to even probably below 1151. Okay, so we're still kind of up there, right? But it doesn't mean that we're gonna continue. It just means that there's downside to be expected or reaccumulation to be expected. So now let's look at volatility versus momentum real fast on the buy daily as well. So let's see. Okay, so buy daily is absolutely primed. So this is very attractive. Okay, so critical volatility here, printing for just days, right? So every red bar that you see here is a 2-day iteration. Every time we complete a 2-day iteration, then then a red bar represents that 2-day read. Okay, very interesting. So buy rating and target price of $6 were announced this week, and then it tanked. Interesting. David Parr saying Arca is my hero. You are my hero, David. Also, have I been pronouncing your name wrong this whole time? Is it pear, like the fruit, or is it par, like a car? Apologies if I have botched your name. I have botched so many names, and I apologize to everyone for that. Okay, so let's look at the 3-day. All right, so the 3-day is absolutely primed as well. So we have that oval happening. Crazy critical volatility here. Okay, so now let's look at the 5-day. 5-day, oh man, beautiful, beautiful things happening here for ticker symbol TENX. Man, this, and oh man, even the weekly, guys, my goodness. So this could be preparing for a massive upside. Okay, so why am I saying massive upside? Well, if you look here, the only things that would essentially stop us are the binding areas between these candles on the way down. Okay, so this could potentially just go slip into this area here about $1.68, because this is where that supply is, right? Very confluent with this candle right over here too. So I'm talking about, man, so since January, January 23rd, 2023, this thing has just been this was just a massive millionaire short. So damn cool. Okay, so it's about to change the narrative very soon. Okay, potentially one more candle, and very likely to happen upon the closure of this one here. So, geez, that sucks, but it's also congratulations to whoever shorted the crap out of this, right? So huge life changer. Let me go back down to the 12-hour volatility versus momentum, as it looks like it's actually starting to get primed for that, okay? On the way up to critical expansion, definitely oversold in that area. Let's look at the 8-hour. Same situation here. It's already getting primed for it, right? So very likely for this to actually do this kind of move, right? So let me just draw a little line here for you to see what I'm kind of looking at, right? So, and then this one right over here too. And let's correct it now. So very likely this thing can actually do something along the lines of this, okay? So what we want to see is kind of that. Let me just adjust this, right? So here we go. Yeah, it could be something. It could be something like this. So this is essentially what it's prepping for, right? So it's a little bit of a slow mover because it is the 8-hour, but as I do this, of course, it just contracts a little more. So this is what we're waiting for, and very much going to happen once this touches down to the targets of about 33.37, right around there, or 30.48, where the 4.618 is. But this is loading up a serious move to the upside, and I want to be present when that happens. So I'm going to leave alerts in this one, because this is actually giving us a very nice opportunity here. Okay, you guys, so upside targets for this is just going to be very hard for us to tell, but definitely from 30 cents, 61 could be like the first stop, 61.75. So you can just see what I mean by this thing just having just rocket fuel, right? So this very likely to make an initial 85% move to the upside, where it's just going to barely start. And why am I suggesting that, guys? Please freaking remember when I'm talking to you about a broadening descending wedge, okay? Because we have this is an impulsive, some broken ass computer, okay? Don't count that, okay? So we're looking at test number 1, 2, and 3 of the resistance. Of course, we have the capitulation on test number 3, right? So remember, we're not trading this broadening descending wedge on the 12-hour. It's being traded on the higher time frame. Okay, so now we're looking at a retracement to test number 4. Okay, so this is very likely going to create a huge buying thrust opportunity down here. It's gonna do something nice here. It's not going to be like to where it's just going to be one candle and then let's go. Of course not, guys. We have to validate, okay? This thing is going to be in shock. It's going to be beaten down to the ground, ran over like a messed up cat. Okay, you guys, so we don't want to get in on this when it touches that bottom. We need to validate first, confirm the area first, then we look at a potential catalyst in play. We can backtest the volatility versus momentum in the most pertinent time frame, and then we can actually make an educated move to the upside, or an educated decision for us to guess, for us to consider an entry. Right, you guys, so that's kind of what I'm looking at for TENX. I am a big fan of this one as well, okay, you guys, so I love that I actually didn't make a big fan thing of note on any of the tickers that I looked at today. Yay, Arca, freaking hell yeah. Okay, so guys, let me know in the chat right now, what were the tickers that are actually making sense for that upside? Was it EPAZ? Well, yeah, actually, yeah, wasn't it EPAZ, the upside? I think that one had a massive upside to look into. Not sure that I remember, but whatever. It's good. I'm just gonna refer back to create timestamps anyway. Right, you guys. But I really appreciate everybody for stopping by today, you guys. Please make sure to hit that like button on your way out. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I appreciate all the donations, guys. Thank you so much for all of your help. Okay, you guys. So. I will be announcing a couple plays, but I don't think I'm going to be announcing them today, okay? So because of tomorrow's just dangerous thing. Yeah, so Hound, yeah, no problem, dude. So EPAZ was the one, man, guys. Yeah, we could possibly face a really nice move with a few tickers from today. So I love it. I love it. So yeah, guys, that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you so much, moderators, Hound, Mark Roach, Samantha H. Really appreciate you guys for doing what you do. Mr. Levitz, have a very good night. Indra H., have a very good night. Sebastian Lim, love you, buddy. I'm going to catch you soon, my dude. All right, you guys. So with that said, I wish everybody a very good night. And I will, yeah, cool, calm, and collected, like what's his name? TMI. GADXL, have a good night. David, have a good night. Man, thank you so much for stopping by, dude. Really means a lot. All right, you guys. So with that said, I wish you all very well, a very good night, and I will catch you all at the bell mañana. To the Batcave. Adios.